Whatever works, whatever works. Hello, welcome. If people hop on, that's fine. But we were starting to talk about things and I didn't want to start the recording. I didn't want to miss out on any of that. So we were actually just talking about healthy alternatives to some of our favorite candies. And no, we're not going to tell you that you can't have them, but if you can eat the candies that you like and the treats that you like in a healthier version. So Diana, her favorite is Swedish fish, and we were talking about the healthy alternative that is out there for Swedish fish. My mother-in-law got them for us last year, and even though they don't taste exactly like Swedish fish, which is important to recognize, especially with kids. If you are trying to give them, here, have some Swedish fish, like they're gonna know these aren't them. And then they're just gonna be like, these are awful. I don't like them. You have to acknowledge this is different. It's made a little bit different. It's made a little bit with different ingredients. So it's not gonna taste exactly like the Swedish fish, but let's give it a fresh try. And then they're not necessarily like comparing what it was. Because if you compare to something they know and love to something new will never cut it because it's not what they know and love. Like we make when we do taco night, our kids prefer them in nacho form, and I don't think it's any different to give them tortilla chips with the toppings on it or a hard taco shell. It's essentially the same. So if they want to have it in nacho form, I let them have it in nacho form. And so we do the tortilla chips, we do the meat, and then the sprinkle cheese, and then we melt it in the microwave. And we were at a trunk or treat, and Cora, I told her the options were hot dog or nachos and cheese, and she said nachos and cheese, and they were the drizzle cheese and nachos. And she had one, and then she's like, I don't want these. And I was like, but that's what you said you wanted. And she said, but you didn't show me what they were. These aren't the nachos that we have. And I was like, you're right, Cora. I didn't show you what they were. This is not the nachos that you're used to. So, like, that's totally fine. If you'd like a hot dog, we can do that. Or if you just want to have a piece of your candy, that's also fine. And she, of course, chose a piece of her candy. But I wasn't going to like get mad at her because she was right. And yes, we do talk like that all the time. So the fact that she was able to like even verbalize, like, you didn't show me. And so I think that even just allowing
I'm good.
everything as a conversation with your kids instead of making the assumption and placing the action or reaction. And I feel like with food, that's a big thing. If you have a lot of neurospices, there's a lot of food issues, there's a lot of texture issues. And in our house, it's usually about the texture, not the taste. And that's a total side note. Nothing's necessarily to do with Halloween, but even if things like if they love this kind of candy and then they don't like this, like, and it's like different, if there's a different texture, like that might be it, and things like that. But so one day this week, Liz and I will get together. One day this week, we will have a contest basically where we will just have a thread and we'll be like, find a healthier, cleaner candy or treat. And so you can even Google it. You don't have to actually go out and buy it. You just have to find it and share it with the group. So you can Google, find a picture of the healthy Swedish fish. You can share that. If you find there are healthier Reese cups out there, obviously we have make your own recipes too. But if you're not a do-it-yourself kind of person, there are healthier Reese alternatives. So find an alternative recipe or a make it easy, something from Amazon or something. You can grab a link and share it on the thread. I think that'll be really great. And not that we necessarily need more candy right now, but if you are one of those people that eating candy this week is going to put you on an addictive track, that now you need that candy in your life, now you have a healthier alternative while you wean back down to a balance. So that's all. I'm not saying go out and buy extra candy on a week where you're going to be bombarded with candy. But even if you're like, you know what, maybe I'd like to get these for myself and then I don't have to eat them for the kids or whatever it is. So we will do that one day this week. And do you want to talk a little about some grace over guilt for The candy
Yeah,
stuff?
sure. So I um I am one of those that the candy I go in and just can't stop eating it. Um I'm not so bad anymore, since I've been on this journey. But before this journey, Halloween was always one of those hard holidays because the kids would get an abundance amount of candy. And in our neighborhood, we get full-size candy bars. Um, and we always kind of like we kept the full-size candy bars and gave the little ones away because like the full-size ones, like they're more money and you should keep those. There's more value in them and all the things. I think last year was the first year we got rid of most of the big size candy bars. We let Nathan, my husband, took those to work, and we kept the bite size ones because one, those are better for kids anyway. They don't need a giant candy bar. If you're gonna split the candy bar, then they start to feel like unfair, and I have to wait for it tomorrow and stuff like that. So that's frustrating. But by having just the bite size, they all get a bite-sized candy bar. We can all have one, so it feels a little less like an indulge and more less of that, I just had a giant candy bar, blah, blah, blah. It's like I had a little piece of Snickers, we're fine. Um, but ultimately, it's also just comes down to that, like, if you do want that big Snickers bar because it looks amazing and delicious and it's that, the nugget and it's so good, have it. Because in reality, as long as you understand and you know in your head that having that one candy bar isn't going to ruin any progress you've made. One night of indulging on some candy isn't going to say, you know, I'm done, I'm over. No, tomorrow's a new day. You get back up and you start right back to where you were and keep going. And you can still have a candy bar 3 days from then and say, I had another candy bar. Okay, cool. You enjoyed your candy. Keep going. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I also know that like it's hard to be in that mindset, to have that, I am one of those girls that was an all or nothing type of person. I go all in and I still struggle with it pretty much daily. Um, uh, I'm one of those that goes all in and I do it and then I do it and then what? And it's the same, it can go the same way though, but opposite. It can go that like I just indulged on 3 candy bars. Crap, I screwed it all up. So I'll just start again Monday, or I'll just start again in a week after, Halloween settles down.
Right.
And go
That's
ahead.
such a good point. I want to add that, because that's always the first thing that we, not always, but it's typically the first thing we go to when we overindulge is I blew it. Like I ruined everything. And it's like several different metaphors. It's like walking out and somebody slashed one tire and you're like, well, we're not going anywhere today. And you slash the other three. And we wouldn't do that to a car, but we so easily do it to ourselves. But I want to remind everybody that you didn't flip flop the other way by eating well for a day. You don't eat salads. I mean, we eat way more than salads, but let's just go for the basic. Like, let's say you eat like a freaking rabbit for a day. You don't wake up the next day and you have abs or you lost 20 pounds. Like, it doesn't work that way. One day of doing all of the things right isn't gonna make or break you. One day of doing all of the things wrong isn't gonna make or break you. And so knowing that Tuesday, first for me, like I'm gonna try my best to be on point tomorrow. The things that I really focus on, I make sure I'm really hydrated. Because if you are not hydrated, especially if you're walking around for trick or treating, are you walking with water? Because if you are dehydrated, you're going to crave things to give you're going to think you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. If you want to eat less or crave less, drinking more water is the easiest and cheapest and simplest thing to do. So I'm going to make sure I'm hydrated, and then I'm going to make sure I have my shake. And I might even, depending on our dinner plans, because trick or treating starts at 6, we're going to be at my sister's at 5:30. We might even get there a little bit early. Like, yeah, we might do a dinner, but it's probably going to be a quick like taco dinner. And I got to eat a lot of tacos before I'm full. That's like my ADHD meal. I could eat like 8 hard tacos and be like, okay, I could still eat more. It's like, it's impressive actually. So I'm going to make sure I have a shake, even if it's a second shake, because I don't want to be walking around with all the things I want and feel hungry. Like, one thing you don't want to do is have candy for dinner on like trick-or-treating night. Like, that's setting yourself up to like, and then you just don't feel well when you eat that much sugar. It's not even about guilt. So if you're handing out candy or if you're out trick-or-treating, I personally like the small size, like Snickers and Reese's are my jam. And those mini Reese's and the mini Snickers, I love, because first of all, like, in ADHD, let's go candy math. Everybody's like, there's girl math and there's this math, and like candy math is 3 of those mini Reese's is like one Reese cup for me. Like, I can do like what, 4 or 5 of those mini Snickers, and that's like 1 Snickers bar. And so like I can have more and it's still the same amount. And I really do like Snickers. But if I eat a full size Snickers, I'm almost sick of it by the time I'm done with it. So I really do prefer the smaller, like mini portions. And then I really do like one of the things in the To Be mindset that she says is you can have one bite of anything to taste. One bite to taste. So with those mini, like the mini candy bars, I mean, that's essentially one bite. So, if it's, oh man, like, don't look at it as you're depriving yourself thing. I'm only letting myself have this small Snickers. I can enjoy this small Snickers totally and still enjoy every bit of the taste. And I think sometimes when we have that small amount, we feel like we're keeping ourselves from having more instead of just enjoying the taste of it. Because 87 bites, they all taste the same, but you feel different as you continue to taste it. So enjoy the candy. Know yourself. If you are somebody that you can't have any or you won't be able to stop, well, then what is your favorite candy? And you make a shake flavor of that. You make healthy protein balls. Like, you make a healthy alternative that you are okay with, because I don't want you to be in the situation where you're not going to let yourself have anything to your own, like, whatever, and then everything's going to be around you. Now you're just torturing yourself. And like, that's not a good place for anybody to be. So, I'm not going to tell you how many pieces you can eat. Like, I do want you to think about it beforehand. Like, what am I okay with? And like, is there a point like where I have to cut myself off, or where I have to like pass something off? And there are places that you can donate candy, and we will share those places, those things with you this week. We're not going to tell you that you have to, by all means. Also, I think it's a great idea if you can section out. So what we do, because we pack lunches every day, when we come home from trick-or-treating, I section everything out. And then a lot of like the bags of chips and the bags of pretzels and things like that, like, those go into our lunch stash, and I will use them for lunches. And then even the candy, I will send a piece of candy in for lunch. Like, I don't necessarily make my kids give their candy away. I just don't spend money on snacks for like a month. And so, feel free to like even put it in a bag, like section it out. Like, how many bags of chips do you need out for this week's lunch? And then put the rest in a bag and put it in a storage. Like, put it out of sight, out of mind. That is the biggest thing. If you can't say no to your candy, or you can't stay out of your candy post Halloween, out of sight, out of mind. Do not have a candy bowl out in your entryway if you eat 2 pieces every time you walk by. If you want to, we could also talk about workspaces here, because there's a lot of community bowls and a lot of community things at work because everyone's in the same boat. Well, let's get the candy out. Let's take it to work. And then let's have all these people eat it. So again, thinking post Halloween, what is your plan? If you don't want to continue to eat the candy, because as we're saying, one day, totally fine. I'll give you even 2 days. But then if you're eating handfuls of candy every night, that's not going to serve you. Like, I don't think anybody in a healthy place is going to say handfuls of sugar and candy every night is the way to go. So what is your plan for that? Do you have healthy snacks that you can take into work so that you're still getting something? Because what we don't want to do is put ourselves in a position where we feel like we are depriving ourselves from things that other people get to have. Because that's when we say, screw it. That's when we're like, well, I don't want to give up all these things. I want to do what the people were doing. So we can share some of that, and maybe we'll even do the healthy candy. I don't know. Maybe we could even do that tomorrow. Reen, in the beginning, we said that we were going to do a thread and a contest, and like, we'll pick a couple winners, but of like healthy candy alternatives that you can buy if you're not a homemade maker, like the healthy Swedish fish that are out there. And you don't have to buy them, just find a link and share it. And that way, if people do want to have a healthier alternative, and not necessarily to buy for trick-or-treaters, because kind of trying to spend that kind of money here, but for yourself. And then yeah, so we'll go around with everybody's favorite candy, if they have an idea, if they can eat it, if they have a limit, or if they're going to go off feelings, if they have a plan for after. And then I also want to celebrate some wins, if we have any. How many of those? Of course we do. I'm sure everybody has wins. Reen, you want to start? Because I muted it.
Sure. So as far as the Halloween candy is concerned, we don't get any trick-or-treaters, so I don't have to buy any to pass out. So when here's where I lose. My HR girl has 5 children. So she brings in a truckload of candy, and her kids don't like all the candy I like. So if it's like, I like fruity gummy candy, like anything chewy, fruity, that's my jam. I don't care about chocolate that much. Her kids love chocolate and hate fruity gummy candy. And that bin is full. And last year was a disaster because I kept pulling Starbursts and like the fruities, like the Tootsie Roll ones, like that are fruit flavored, all that stuff, throwing it in my desk. Like they hate like the sour ropes. Like I love that shit. Like all of that went in my desk, and I was pounding sugar.
Yeah, that's just straight sugar too.
It's just straight sugar, and it's like all that good red dye and all that, all that stuff.
It's all red, all red. All the good gummies are red. Elsie's like so excited to get her braces off. I'm like, hold on, we're not diving back into all this.
I mean,
there's some really good gummy alternatives though.
So I mean, like I'm better. Like I honestly, for me, I almost have to just avoid it in its entirety.
Yeah.
Because it's such a slippery slope with. I don't know. I hate that it's coming. Like I know it's coming.
Yeah. Well,
and the thing is, a lot of the other
people
don't partake as much as like I'll partake more than I think others, and I just need to stay away from it.
Yeah. Because even the healthier alternative, like can
Hey,
be
stop
if you
it.
have too many of them, then it's beating your purpose as well.
Still
You
better.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you're paying for a healthy version of something that you could get for free. Like Rita and I came from the same upbringing. We know, like you don't buy something if you can get it for free. Like Diana too. Yeah, we all.
The thing with me is like these days, I only like every once in a while I want it and I'll get it and that's it. Like I don't, it's not a big problem,
Yeah.
but I know that damn bowl's coming.
Mm. All right. Well, we'll game plan on that.
Okay,
Where does she put the bowl?
it's in there like our kitchen.
Mm. Maybe every time you go in there, just cover it up with a piece of paper and then
I think that honestly, like I'm better. Like if I just don't touch it, I'll be fine. But like once
Yeah.
it, like once it hits your lips,
leave. I know. All right. So anytime you're tempted by the bowl, you go into the group chat and you'll be like, not today, sugar,
not today,
or
Satan,
whatever.
not
Like that's
today.
your accountability is just show us the bowl. We'll know what's happening and
Right.
we'll steer you in the other direction.
No, I will show you the bowl because it's ridiculous.
Show it to it'd be like still full, keep showing it.
Wasn't me, like Shaggy.
just no. Okay. I love that. I love that. That's also like you can't, it's so much easier to make your own healthy chocolatey snacks. Like you're not gonna bake your own gummies
Swedish fish.
and making edibles in your kitchen. Like that's the only reason you'd do anything like that. So you don't even have any healthy alternatives. So I agree. Just
I'll enjoy this apple.
here.
Thank you. It's delicious.
You know what though? Do you like caramel apples?
They're fine. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm fine with just eating a fruit. Like, you know what? Like I said, I'm fine to stay away from it, but it's like just don't start.
yeah. Okay. So no pieces for Reen.
None.
She's going cold turkey.
I'm
this year
abstaining.
on her own accord, and we support that. And we support
Thank
that. All right, we got you. All right. You might have to unmute yourself, Diana. It's probably on the bottom of your. I'm sorry, I did it. There you go. All right, what's your Swedish fish? And then
Yes.
what is your? Are you also like Reen? Do you like all the gummy, like
Oh,
all the
Oh.
red gummy candies?
all of it, everything. My the Skittles, gummy Skittles. Oh my gosh, yes. Everything.
Gummy Skittles.
Sour
I did try
Patch.
them. Yeah.
Everything.
Okay. Do you have a bowl at work or anything at work where this kind of stuff is out?
I'm a cook, so yeah, they have all kinds of good stuff there. It's with the residents. They just throw candy at you.
Mhm.
You
Oh, the
know,
res-
Because that's a
they're
place
there
to
to
donate.
focus on their
It's at a-
health. So
it's
why
a
not?
nursing home. Like literally, yeah. That's a place that people tell you to donate to the nursing homes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, because
cookies,
that's something that
donuts.
would be on a list. Like Melissa's talking about, like places kids, people from. That's where we're told. Like that's where like schools say if you have too much candy, don't forget the elderly and da da da.
So I would actually check with the
Cotton candy
schools.
grapes help. I
Oh,
love
those
it.
good. Those cotton candy grapes.
I love those.
Yeah. Elsie, our primary school actually does like a candy carnival in the spring. So they take candy donations after Halloween and they will use it for the candy carnival in the spring, which I actually think is a good idea because I mean, it just comes back to your kids, but it's in the spring after.
Work for me. I won't be in
Yeah.
work for a week.
Oh my God.
I'm
Okay.
off for a week, so I don't have to worry about that this week.
Okay. So what is your plan post Halloween and Halloween? Are you going to stay away from the treats? Are you going to allow yourself to have any? What are you thinking?
I'll probably just stay away from them. I'll be in Florida, so I'll just get different things. You know, I'll be with the grandkids and everything, but I'll choose healthier options. And if I do, I always do like a sliver of whatever I do. So I'm trying to stay as good as possible.
Well, one really fun thing about being in Florida and being with your grandkids, and I love this, and I think this is, I think, part of 2B that Alana says is remember the reason that you're there. Like for a birthday party or for a gathering, like you're there to make memories with your kids or with your grandkids and like see
I'll
their
be there.
joy and all of that. And I don't know, I feel like we just use food as a comfort and to pass the time, and we forget what we're really there to do because so yeah. Okay, Liz. Oh, we'll go back around for wins, unless you
Oh,
want.
my favorite
Yeah.
is straight up Milky Way. To a key. It's been my favorite since I was little. The kids know it's my favorite, so when they get it, they literally run down the hall, run down the sidewalk. I got your favorite, Mom. So they're just as excited, and it's, so I. So last year we got, like I said, like we've been sending a lot of it away, and then I did a lot of freezing of the chocolate and saved it for, like Melissa said, for lunches. So the bite-sized ones saved for lunches. And then because they're in the freezer, I'm not likely to eat it because it's frozen. I prefer my caramel to be melty and gooey coming out. So, you know, I, I mean, almost. I mean, this will be my third Halloween. Yeah. So, like, I think it. I think I'm more worried about. I have a 13-year-old who is like at that stage of starting to like crave that kind of thing. She's not just got her period this year. So that, like you can tell when she's, she's a little, wants a little more sugary food when it's happening and stuff like that. So I think I'm more concerned with not keeping it from her, because obviously that's not what we want to do either. Go ahead.
I have an idea. What if after you and Zoe privately went through her candy and you grabbed a bunch of baggies and you were like, let's make some period packages.
Mm.
And so we put together a bag for each month. Like, here's how many days is she on it? 3 days? Is it a day before? You give her 4 baggies. Here's November's bag. Put together a bag for December. So then she knows she has it. She knows it's okay if she has it. And it's even like portioned out for her. So
Right.
she doesn't feel the need to sneak. She doesn't feel ashamed or embarrassed about wanting or needing it. And it's already been approved and like planned out
That's
for
not a
her.
bad idea.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Because if
It's
she's
actually
gonna
not a bad
want
idea
it
to kind of do
anyway,
period with all of them,
yeah, just teach
honestly.
us. I think that's the biggest thing is not telling us that we can't have the things. Teach us how to have the things in balance. Teach us that it's
Right.
okay to have the things so that we don't end up in our 40s that we can't have one, because then we have to have them all because
Right.
we weren't like taught or allowed or like shown grace and love with like what you eat doesn't necessarily relate to your body size. And I think that's like so not a common thing.
Right.
That it's so much more than what you're eating. And sometimes it's just how you're eating. And so, but yeah, you guys like ask her if she likes that idea, or just be like, I had an idea and see what she thinks. And like, if she doesn't go for it, you still do it. And then be like, I would give it a try anyways. Here's your bag. I don't know, like whatever. But and then it's also like knowing like, hey, I'm not like giving away, like this is your candy and I am designating for you.
Right.
You have,
Yeah.
and I'm not taking it and I'm not stealing. Like, I don't know. Mark steals a lot of the kids' candy. And so
So does Nate.
I didn't mean to.
No. It's a good idea because it is. I mean, it's probably. I'm not as concerned about myself because I don't dig into it as much as I did because I've grown to where I am, where I just don't need to, or I've given myself the permission to be like, I can have this one because it's not
Yeah.
going to, unless I mean, if I happen to have an overwhelmed, stressed, anxiety day, I can't promise I wouldn't have 3 or 4. And that's just what it is. Because I am a stressed eater, unfortunately. But I just don't want because I'm on a health journey and I have been for 3 years, I've had to be careful how you word things with the kids because you don't want them to think that the candy's bad. You don't want them to think, certain things or that, we have these because they're a better alternative, but it's not that we won't have them. One partly just because it's affordability, especially
Yeah.
where what we're in now with all the inflation and all the things you know, um, I would love to be completely gluten free. We just can't right now. It's too expensive. We tried and we just can't. And that's okay, because there are lots of alternatives in making it still okay and that's not something that because we have to be. It's just because we know it would be better for our son. So but I mean that's really just when Halloween comes around, I think more about how to figure it out that it's still okay for them to have candy, but also not let them indulge and overindulge because I know that they'll get the tummy ache and that,
Yeah.
things like that. And so that's what I more think about when it comes to Halloween is how can I help my kids and prepare them to be successful as well.
Also knowing your kids, like Elsie will totally cut herself off from candy or chocolate. Cora, no man. You're gonna have to you gotta pull her out of that bag. She wouldn't stop. She could be throwing a belly ache, still wanting to eat more. So knowing your kids and that, for sure. I feel Snickers and Reese's are my favorite, FYI, and I will be having some. I will not be having an overabundance. My biggest downfall every year with trick-or-treating is usually that I'm getting better at taking care of myself and making sure that I have my things done first. Anytime I have an event that I have to get ready for, it is the first thing I do that day, even if the event is at 6 p.m. Because with ADHD, I never got myself ready until the very end. And then it was anxiety and it was all the things. So for me, my downfall every year is usually lack of dinner and worrying that everybody else has everything. And then I'm hungry and I'm walking around. And even if I do take my shake, well, my brain's it's dinner. Dinner's real food. And so then it's a bag of chips. And then that doesn't fill that full food. And then I'm eating the candy too. So I am gonna plan ahead and make sure we already have more meal prepped food today. So making sure that the girls and I eat, have dinner, and then I will have probably a few of the mini Snickers. I won't mess with the big size candy bars because truly it is too much for me. I would rather have a few of the bite-sized things throughout the night. We have started talking about food in the form of energy here. And instead of good or bad, just what kind of energy does that food give you? And we are trying to involve the girls more. Mark took Elsie and let her look through the Gut Protocol cookbook, and she picked a couple things that she would be willing to try, and visually was able to see them.
That's a good idea. It's a really good idea. I think Grayson would get a kick out of that.
Because it's a visual,
Yeah.
you can see it, yeah, I might like that. Because if I describe something, she doesn't know. She barely knows what she likes when she likes it. And I told Mark that when it gets to back to like produce season, we don't shop at Giant Eagle for produce and things, but I want to take the girls there and let them each pick out a different fruit or vegetable to try that week. Because I told Mark, you involve them from the process from the start, they see it, they get to pick it, it's their doing, then they're actually willing to go through the process. And if I can get 4 or 5 vegetables to switch through that my kids like, that's amazing. Right now we've got like 2 for each, and I'm like, that's 2. Like and they're different for each kid. But they have food sensitivities, and I don't like harp on them for that, because I feel like a lot of damage can be done around food, and like the whole like finish your plate and like I don't care, and like I know we 3 of us lived in the same house here on the Zoom, so we know like just nightmares and just of sitting at the table crying.
Mhm.
And like
I lived in a similar house, so
still to this day, there will be some things that I will take a bite of, and I don't know if it's like too gristly or like what, and I like, well, maybe I chew it too much and then it doesn't resemble food in my mouth anymore, and I can't make myself swallow it, and I have to spit it out in the trash, and I will go tell my neurotypical husband that, hi, 41-year-old woman, I just had to spit a bite of food in the trash because I couldn't swallow it. And I'm not saying that so like he sees me or anything, because Cora is that. She will, if meat is too rough, she can't eat it. It's not the taste, it's the texture. She will chew it up to to where it's non-existent as meat, and then she can't swallow it because it's like a gag reflex. And so like things like that, learning and understanding that it's not always a one and done. And that's honestly, that's where meal prepping really comes in huge for us with our family, is having multiple things meal prepped so that we're not making 4 dinners every night, but everybody still gets something that works for them. So
same.
yeah.
I mean, because but you talk about Cora and the texture with the meat. That's Logan to
Yeah.
a T.
Yeah.
He can't. He literally like he'll be like, and I'll be like, just go spit it out, buddy. Just go spit it out, because if you can't eat it, just go. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to see you try to gag it
People
up
like,
and then just go.
why do all
Yeah.
these kids love chicken nuggets? They're the easiest thing to chew and eat. There's no like there's nothing hard like to them. And I also think that Cora is obsessed with dinosaur nuggets, because I made the mistake of saying that I made it through Elsie with like never having chicken nuggets in my house. Now that's like Cora's literal favorite thing. Never make claims in motherhood or life. Don't. It just won't end well. Okay, so we are gonna do a spirit week. I don't even have any costumes.
I have stuff started. Where I got you, Melissa. I got you. It will be
Tuesday, we're
posted by
dressing up though, right?
yes.
Okay. Tuesday, wear some kind of a costume. Maybe draw a costume on yourself. We're going to have a costume contest. So if you don't participate in it, totally fine. But we're going to vote. We're going to have a costume contest, and we will give out some goodies to a winner. So not required, but fun is always encouraged. So it is our last official week in this group, but of course, we're always doing things. And Liz has a group that she is running next month. We will share more of that this week. I have not decided if I'm going to a totally separate group again like this, or going back to my self-love club, but it will be continued, the 2 habits and all of the things. I am doing the Date with Destiny again in December, and I share that because I had some really, really great value in teaching after that seminar last year. And this year I am attending in a leadership position, actually helping people go through that. So I am super excited about the value, the content, and the growth that will come for everyone after that. So excited. I'm almost like, holy crap, last year was amazing. I don't even know what to expect this year. But yes. So excited for that. Already starting to think of how we can do some goal setting things at the end of the year. And kick off the new year strong. So I'm excited about that. Let's share some wins so far, and then we will wrap it up and head out. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but I'm so happy you joined. All right, so everyone has to share a win on voice or chat. I don't care. Shove them out. Reed, you want to go first?
I'm almost to a 40-pound mark from May. Yay. And the big thing though is the consistency of getting back into the workouts, because I haven't been doing that. So I'm 2 weeks in and all completed, and it's only the 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And we were at 0 times a week. So
yeah, I tend to, we did MBF and they're 5 days a week, and we're pretty much on track for 4 days a week. So I'm like,
it's a win. It is getting it in. And like Andrew and I had a little conflict at the beginning about whether we were going to work out together or not. And I said that I really wanted to, because we are at a point where we don't share a whole lot of things together.
Yeah.
And we needed something that was kind of a thing for us. And it's been a really positive space, and we've been enjoying doing it together. And instead of like me, like someone being like annoyed in the morning because they're not on time, like there's an understanding and a respect of this is the allotted time. And we're doing it together, and we've both been really pleased with like that. And I like, it's not like I have cortisol shooting through my veins because he's not up and ready.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
he's respecting my time, and we're doing it together. And I it's really been great.
So it's bringing a little bit of
a bond. That's a bond.
Extra stuff to your relationship. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like respect and appreciation for each other and your time. And I really like, so if you didn't know, Autumn also attended Date with Destiny last year, and it changed her. And if you've done any of her programs this year, she is a different person. And the way that she talks and speaks and trains is absolutely my love language now. And I was not an Autumn fan for her workouts are amazing. She's brilliant. She's great at what she does. I just didn't like the way she influenced. I didn't like the way that she coached. And after Date with Destiny, it's different. And
I just joined the whatever her monthly one. What are those called?
The Super Block?
Yes, I just signed up for her Super Block. I mean, we're going to finish the 4 weeks for everybody. It's such a good, like, if someone's looking to get back into something, it's such a good program. I really like it.
Really liked it too.
And it's so modifiable, where if you want to make it more advanced, it's got that flexibility. And if you need to bump, take it down, like,
yeah.
And it's 30 minutes, which is just like what we need. Time is a factor for us. And so we're going to finish it. We're going to Mexico at the end of the month.
Nice.
Just short trip, but like it's a little bit of a motivator. Like, let's get this in, let's do our 4-week program. And anyway.
So before you go to Mexico, have a plan for the next program.
Yeah, for sure. And like, so we got a weight bench this summer that we've never used. And this weekend we have completed our weight rack. So we have 5s through 35s now.
Nice.
So I think we want to do we love Mwala. So we either want to do like 645 again, or we want to do lift 4 or lift more.
So lift 4 days a week. Lift 4 is 5 days a week, and there is an extra leg day. That's the big difference. Lift more requires a bench. Lift 4 does not.
Does not.
So if you really like that 4 day a week, now the workouts, like, it's 35 to 45 minutes. They're a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it still is 4 days a week. So good to know.
Yeah. And just one more thing. And just full disclosure, I am losing weight because I am taking Wegovy. And so I know that Wegovy is not forever.
Mhm.
I needed that help.
Yeah.
And I know now that it's like, if you don't put those habits in place, this weight will come back.
Yep.
This weight will come back. It'll
Yep.
come back fast. The holidays are a slippery slope. So I need to put this work in, get the habits in order so that I can maintain this as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I needed the help to get started, but like I need the tools now to get me to push, propel forward.
Right. There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with that. I was just helping a new partner on our team this week because she's taking Ozempic and she's down 57 pounds, and she was nervous about what her family would say because she wanted to share her weight loss so far. But she, they've said things like, you're cheating and you're taking the easy way out. And I said to her, there is nothing wrong with saying your doctor prescribed you something to help you on this journey. But instead of just saying, I'm going to just do this and let this do everything for me, I'm also going to do the things. I'm going to make the habits. I'm going to make the changes. And Diane's going to have a very similar thing to share in here in a minute. And there's nothing wrong. This group is helpful. The shakes are helpful. Like, it's all helpful things. It doesn't matter what the thing is, but if you're not doing the habits, if you don't change your lifestyle, it will go back. And it can't, like you said, it's not a forever thing. So if you don't want to end up back there, you got to do the habits. But it just means your train's moving a little faster. And that means that you're excited. That means that you're staying on track, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm glad that you shared. And I want you to know, like, we cheer you on. We are still freaking supporting you. And I'm so glad that you did what you needed to do. And like, you were like, I need this extra thing. And you asked for it, and you're doing it. And you're doing it the right way, not a cheating way, not the easy way. Like, you're putting in the work, and it's only going to help you propel your results faster, but then maintain them, which is what you really want. So
Yeah, I don't want to do this over and over and over.
yeah. So love that. Love you.
All right, I'm done. I'll shut up now.
All right, Di, you're up. You're muted.
Okay. You could have kept talking, Corey. So I don't like talking too much. Okay, my win. October 26th was 1 year that I did my bariatric surgery. Well, I had it. And I lost 98 pounds on it. So it's like, ugh, it's exciting, but it's been very mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I wearing medium clothes when you're used to wearing 3X clothes, and just finding easier, healthier ways. Make sure you eat your protein first before you eat anything else on that plate. Not being able to eat as much as you can. Like my mom, she was staying with us for a while, and I made pasta, and I can only eat 3 bites of pasta because that fills you up, done. And for her not to understand, I can't eat a huge plate, and it's not that I tell her all the time, it's not that I don't want to, but I know my limit, and that's it. And it's like, I still eat the pasta. I told her I went from just being able to eat a tablespoon of food to my little portions now.
Yeah.
Exercising, I started I believe it was in March with Lacey, the super blocks. I've done every super block since then, and I've completed every one, and I can't believe some of the moves I can do on these. I'm like lost. I mean, muscle burn fat. Just being able to get up and doing burpees, laying on your thing and putting the weight in the back and just moving your feet up and moving your butt up there and being able to leave your legs up there like that. It was like, wow. I mean, I was 270 and I am 172 right now. So I was like, it's crazy. And this is my week. My week. I thought I was going to be exercising on my week of vacation. I was going to send my weights with my daughter because I didn't think the plane ride would do it. But it's my week off. But I still walk around. We'll be going everywhere. I mean, I haven't worn a bathing suit since I was 17, and I wore one this past summer when we went to Jellystone camping. I actually wore a bathing suit.
I
It was
love
a one piece, but it was still something,
it was
my
everything. That's everything. That's amazing, Di. That's amazing. Like,
there was one more thing. My resident, she passed away 2 years ago. She gave me this T-shirt, and it was Stillers and a Ravens T-shirt. One was a German Shepherd, one's a Golden Retriever. Hers was a German Shepherd. I have a Golden Retriever. And I looked, and it was a medium, and I said, "What do you want me to do?" I'm just gonna wave it around like a towel, okay? So when I play games. Well, then Ravens game came up just 2 games ago. And I went in the closet and I pulled it out. I said, I must try it on. And it actually fit. I couldn't believe it. And I said, Betty, looking up in the sky, look what I got on. I worked to work. I told everybody this was Betty's shirt. And we actually won that game. And I was just ecstatic that I couldn't believe I could get into that shirt. So, okay, I'm done. I'll start crying like a big baby. I'm sorry. I just can't.
oh, these are the good things to cry about, though. I mean, Di, that's so amazing. And like,
I'm just shocked by a lot of things that happen. I get up there every morning at 5 o'clock. I exercise every Monday through Friday. I'm up there, and David says he can hear me. I mean, with the muscle burn fat, she's like high knees, and I'm up there and I'm booming it. And I'm like trying to do the high knees and not trying to hit myself with the bod ropes. But I actually did it, and she's hard. She was hard.
yeah.
I didn't think she was gonna be that hard, but Sean T, he was hard with his, and she was hard. And the work, she was hard. And I'm excited to do the Pilates on November 6th.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll get David to come with me in December for the work or the lifting programs in December.
With Sean, I'm so excited.
Yes. So I'm going to try to get him to do that too.
Jacked right now. Like he's
Oh, I love Sean T. I follow him. He's doing so good in his life.
yeah, I love him too. He's a
I wish
favorite.
I could go to one of his retreats. That would be great. I just don't have that money right now, though.
Put it on the list, on the dream board.
I'll go on the dream board. All right, guys, I'm done.
All right. Well, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. I recorded some. I mean, the whole thing's recorded, but just so happy for you, for both of you. Liz, do you have any wins that you would like to share before we hop off?
I am so I don't know, many of you know, I lost 100 pounds in May of 2022. I've gained probably about 30 pounds of it back. And I've been working on that, like, where's that happy medium, happy me? Because I know, like, when I went down to my 100 pounds was not where I was happy. It was kind of like I pushed to get there. And once I pushed there, I was like done. I was exhausted, and I kind of felt that. I'm realizing that now. I didn't realize it then, but I'm realizing it more now that like I really pushed to get to myself to that, like, 100, and it was like, oh my God.
And that's cool. And it's
Yeah.
totally, you and I have already had to talk, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. And it's such a cool, it's like running a marathon.
Yeah.
But you don't run a marathon every day.
No.
You
No.
don't
And
even run a
so
marathon every
yeah.
year. So God, sorry.
Yeah, so that's kind of like I'm on that journey, and I'm down 7 pounds since starting 21-day super block.
That's awesome.
And being consistent, but also still enjoying. I literally just finished Dirt Cake like for my husband's birthday. It's my second piece in 2 days. Like I'm enjoying the things still.
Mm.
And I know that it goes back to that shame and that guilt. I know that it's not going to derail the 7 pounds. And I'm not getting on the scale every day because I don't do that. But I know that like if I step on the scale 3 days from now and it's up, maybe I know, okay, well, I did enjoy my weekend. Cool, no big deal. You know, but so, but I do know that like when you do stay consistent and you do give yourself that mindset of like, I can still enjoy the things, but I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to enjoy my shakes. I'm going to do the things that progress continues and keeps going. So, yeah.
Sounds like elephants above me right now. I I have a win that I'm going to share that is actually not nutrition related, but that's okay because we celebrate all wins here. My oldest is 10 years old. And I am finally at the point where when my kids slip or trip or drop something, my first response, my first reaction without even thinking about it is, "Are you okay?" Instead of yelling at them, "Why'd you do this?" or "Why'd you do that?" or "I told you not to do this." And it's always been a reaction that I've not liked because I didn't like when it was done to me. And for it to be something that just happens with my kids, with other kids, with any kids now, it's healing my inner child too, because I was just never shown compassion and unconditional love. So being able to respond to my children that way when they do something that they know they shouldn't be doing, and I still just say, "Are you okay?" Every single time, it still hits me in the heart after that I'm doing that. So that is my win because I'm noticing it more and more. And it's just one of those things that I didn't know I could even break free of. So yes, all those things, all those feels. Just I truly am the mother that I needed. And like it's a really cool thing. It's taken a while, but a lot of healing. And a lot of seeing the people in my life for who they are and that they were doing their best because they're still in my life and they still do good things in my life. And it's a rocky road to heal from things without being angry or validated. But healing is for us and forgiveness is for us. And, I think so many of the people that caused us pain are still waiting for the people that caused them pain to make it better. And well, that's why we ended up with it. And I'm done. So I am not going to carry it on for me or for my kids any longer. And it just feels good. And when you don't have all that guilt and shame, like you really don't, I don't feel the need to comfort myself with food as much because I'm not doing things that even if it reacting in ways that make me feel bad, make me feel like a bad mom later where I'm in the kitchen by myself, finding comfort in the pantry. So I guess it does tie into that I just don't carry that extra guilt from stress of mom life, I guess. But thank you guys so much for hopping on. We will keep you informed with Spirit Week. We will do some fun prizes, challenges. But yeah, if you want to dress up on Tuesday, that's the one. I know we know. We know. Oh, Matthew Perry. I told Mark, I was like, I've not even been letting myself process this yet. Huge Friends fan. So Matthew Perry passed away this weekend. Crazy.
I think he hit a lot of us, especially like this like that, I mean, 35 and older generation that like,
Yep.
I mean, even, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted
He
to
was
read his book before, and now I will.
That's so good.
Book.
It's so good. And when you audio it, because he
Oh,
speaks
because his
it.
voice?
It's his voice.
Oh, well then yes.
Audio it.
Have
It's
to be
his
Matthew
voice, and
Perry.
it's incredible. It's incredible.
Maybe I'll do a
It's so
book
sad
review on that.
because you wanted him to just win. You want him to win because he fought so many battles. It's a beautiful book.
As do we all. As do we all.
Yeah, it's
We
a
all
beautiful. It's
fight
a
battles, book worthy or not. And we all should win. That is a great point and a great ending. So I'm going to stop recording.